Hi, I'm out here and I just wanted to do a brief talk about Kratom. It's one of my favorite herbs, and it is actually a plant and an herb. It's the leaf of a tree that grows in Indonesia and Southeast Asia, and the leaves are dried and ground up. And I have fibromyalgia, so I use it for my fibromyalgia, and it's basically been a lifesaver for me. I know that there are some versions of Kratom that people buy in the gas station and whatnot, but those I would avoid those. And there's 3 different kinds. Well, there's more than 3, but there's 3 basic kinds. There's either red vein, white vein, or green vein. There's some yellow ones too, and other types of varieties that I've seen. I particularly prefer the old forest white vein. That's been helpful to me, but you have to, experiment and try them and see which is the best for you. There's one company that I prefer, and at the moment I'm not getting paid from them, but I will recommend them. I'll put a link. It's a PA Botanicals. They've been the one that I've used for many years, and they have very good quality Kratom. I've been buying from them for a long time, but it's a little bit weird with the Kratom because there's a lot of issues with the drug companies trying to make it so that you can't get it. And so there's been a lot of controversy about Kratom, and I've been taking it probably over like 7 years now. Almost every day I take it. So I haven't really had any problems, but everybody's different. And, some people it might affect their stomachs, or they might have issues with it, So in that case, I would say stay away from it. It's not necessarily for everybody, but if you suffer from chronic pain and you just need to get a relief, a break from your chronic pain, it's extremely helpful. So, but you want to take the lowest possible dose. You don't, because you can become tolerant to it. It's similar to coffee. So, like if you drink too much coffee, you're going to have some people may have issues with drinking too much coffee, just like that. It's similar. What I found is that if you take too much Kratom and you're not used to it, you could get the worst stomach ache of your life. It's just like it'll give you a really bad stomach ache, but it'll go away and you'll be fine and everything's okay, and just don't take that much because you're taking too much. So that's the way that it kind of warns you that you're taking too much, is if you get sick and you get like a stomach ache. So that's why it's best to try it in extremely small doses at first, especially if you don't have any tolerance to it. So it's good to take like a very, very small dose and then just like ramp it up as you need it, but don't take too much. If you've ever been curious about how to determine what your dosage is for taking Kratom, I'm going to help you with that. And I don't know if you've never tried Kratom before and this is your first time watching. I hope this helps you, because I'm going to explain how to prepare it so that you can take it and to ultimately find what your dosage would be. You want to try to take it in as small a dose as possible that just is effective, and not overdo it, because then you'll build up your tolerance and it won't be as effective anymore over time. I've had fibromyalgia for over 30 years, and I've been taking Kratom probably like 8 years now. I take it almost every day. So, and it's helped me tremendously, and I can't really even explain to you how beneficial this herb has been to me, and it's been a lifesaver. So that's why I'm highly recommending it. But anyway, so I'm going to show you how to do to make prepare it so that you can figure out what your dosage is. And this is the Kratom, and I've got my cup here, and it's good for I could put boiling water in it. So you don't have to do it this way. You can just actually just take the Kratom and put it in a glass of water and drink it. So that works too. But I think this way it sort of potentiates it more. It helps the herb to become so that your body can assimilate it easier and stuff. So that's why I recommend doing it this way. And especially at first, you want to try doing it so you could figure out what your general dosage would be, so you don't overdo it while you're taking it, because that way, if you overdo it and you take too much, you'll get really sick. So you'll never want to take it again, which is the reason why I say I don't understand why people are saying, oh, people are overdosing on kratom and blah, blah, blah. But I mean, maybe it could be because they're taking the extract, or they're taking some sort of, synthetic version of it. So I would avoid those at all cost and just take the pure plant powder. So this is how the plant powder comes in a package like this. So I'm going to get started. Okay, so I hope you could see this is the powder in here. So I'm using like a tablespoon. This is like a tablespoon. So I'm going to take a tablespoon of the powder. So it looks like that. And I'm going to put it in my cup. And then, sorry, but my lemon's a little bit old, but it's still okay to use. So I'm going to put some lemon juice on it. I got some seeds in there, so I got to get them out. But so, you just pour like a little bit of lemon juice in there. And this water is boiling water. So I'm going to put 1 cup of boiling water on top of it. So that's like 1 cup. And then I'm going to stir it around and just let it steep for a little while. So if you let it steep for like, I don't know, a few minutes, that way it, it gets to release all the chemicals and things. It's upstairs over his face. So yeah, so that's about it. And so you got this, and I'm just gonna let it steep for a little while. It's been steeping. It's got like I gotta get the seed out of here. I guess that'll be all right. So yeah, I got this, and I'm gonna pour it in. This is like a shot glass. So I'm just gonna pour enough in the shot glass. So if you're sensitive to it, you might want to just take a half or a quarter of a shot glass, because it depends on how sensitive you are to herbs and things like that. But if you feel like you may have stomach issues, I might, I would caution people in regards if you have like some sort of weird stomach problems or issues with your digestion or things like that. Kratom may be harsh. Some of these types of some of these types of herbs that have like opiate sort of properties to them may be constipated. So if you take them, you may want to increase taking something that's like that will be more of like a kind of laxative effect, like things with a lot of fiber in it, or maybe grind some flax seeds and take that with your food, mix it in some yogurt and take that, so that you don't get constipated, or eat prunes or dried fruit or things like that, so you keep your your digestive system working. You want to be careful if you have stomach issues, generally speaking, so you want to like be careful about taking it. So you might want to take just start off with a quarter, but then it's going to take about 30 minutes for the there's a freaking plane going over my house. Sorry. I don't know if you can hear that, but so yeah, so you want to take you might want to try taking a quarter or a half of this to start off with. But I've been taking this for a long time, so my tolerance has gotten higher over the years. So I need to take a little bit more than I used to when I first started. But initially I just took a very small amount. And you just want to take a small amount to test out to see how much you really need to take. So the thing is that once you take this, it's going to take about 30 minutes before you start to feel it. So that's why when you're first testing it out, to have maybe put aside like some day, like an afternoon or some time that you could just kind of test it out, just to find out what your dosage would be. So that's why I would suggest, try a little bit, take that, see if that works, wait like a half an hour, see if you start feeling it. If you start feeling it, then you don't need to take any more. And, but if not, then, try taking a little bit more and see how that feels. Just ramp it up gradually and take the smallest dosage that you can so that you don't build up your tolerance, because that will definitely happen over time. You'll build up your tolerance, so you don't want to do that. And, wait a little bit. But, everybody's different. I happen to be very sensitive to herbs and things like that. So, that's why I would start off with maybe even a half or a quarter of this. But other people are not, they're not sensitive, so they might need more. And, some people just might need a lot, or the particular variety might not be the right one. So you might want to try different varieties and do the same thing and figure out, to figure out what your dosage, so you don't have to take too much. Because if you, I'm just telling you now, if you take too much, it's going to give you a bad stomach ache and you'll never want to take it again. But if you do get, if that does happen, you'll generally be okay, but it just takes some time to wear off, maybe overnight, and the next day you'll feel fine, so, don't take too much, because it will make you sick if you take too much. And that's why people are saying, that's why I just like don't understand if people are saying, oh, people are overdosing on it, because if you take too much, it's going to make you sick. So it has a kind of built-in natural chemical, reaction to your body that nature is telling you you're taking too much. So that's why you don't want to do that, So just take the minimum amount necessary in order for you to start feeling an effect. And when the effect starts coming on, what you'll feel is you'll feel kind of like a euphoric, kind of numb. It doesn't make you completely numb, but it numbs the pain. It dulls the pain a bit, just so that you can kind of focus on other things. If you have been dealing with chronic pain for a long time, you know what I'm talking about. Like, over time, you just get, overstimulated by the pain. And what this does is it cuts the pain down, so that you don't feel as overstimulated. And I think that's also the case with anxiety, because sometimes people who have chronic pain tend to feel like anxious, because of the pain all the time. So this will really help with that. And that's what I found. So that's why I highly recommend it. And I very much respect this plant, and nature is wonderful. It provides us with these wonderful plants, but unfortunately there's people out there, like in the drug companies, and, who sell drugs, that don't want people to use Kratom, because it is an effective way of dealing with a lot of psychological and physical situations. And I've found it to be safe. So, and like I said, I've been taking this for 8 years. And if you have any questions or comments, or you want to say anything, please post them in the comments, and I'll take a look at them and try to help anybody if you have any questions about it. So cheers. I'm going to drink this now, because I'm in pain and I would like to feel better. Oh, there's some left on the bottom, so I'm just going to pour a little bit in here. I also want to say it's very bitter, and sometimes it tastes disgusting, and it's like very hard to take because it's very bitter tasting. So if that's the case, just get some water and drink some water, or get some pineapple juice. I think that really covers up the taste, and, do like a pineapple juice chaser. The other thing too I want to mention is that I think it's better to take it on an empty stomach. Um, because you'll feel the effects more. And if you have food in your stomach, it's going to dilute it so that you don't really feel it as much. So I would suggest, if you don't have a lot of stomach issues, to take it on an empty stomach. If you do have stomach issues, maybe eat a little bit of yogurt before you take it, and that might help, help so you don't have stomach issues from taking it. It kind of coats your stomach, so it's not so harsh. So that's what I would suggest. But you know, like I said, this isn't for everyone, and you have to test it out and see if it's something that will work for you, because everybody's different. So you just have to, you know, give it a try and see if it's helpful. And, you know, hopefully this helps you, you know, to determine your dosage. And then the thing is, once you figure out what your dosage is, don't try to force it to, you know, don't take more thinking that you're going to feel better if you take more, because it's only so much, and that's what it is. And that you have to kind of just respect it for the fact that that's what it is. If you say, oh wow, this is making me feel really good, I'm going to take more because I want to feel better, that it's not going to work like that. You have to just take, you know, you have to keep your tolerance low. Don't take too much, just take enough so that you're feeling a little bit better. It's very similar, it's a similar plant family to coffee, so you want to respect it. Like if you drink like a whole pot of coffee, it's going to make you feel weird. So you don't want to do it. You just, like, having one cup of coffee is really nice. It gives you a little boost, and that's good, you know, and that's the same thing for kratom. You know, just take a small amount, find out what your dosage is. If one of these is not enough, then take another one and see how you feel. Wait 30 minutes and see how you feel, and see if that's better. Might be 1.5, you know. So just experiment with the amount that you're taking so that you can find the correct amount that's just going to give you, you know, a little bit of a feeling of a break from the pain or the anxiety, or, you know, and it gives you, it really does give you a boost. It makes it so that, you know, it makes you feel like you want to go out and do your errands, you want to go out and do the things you need to do, you want to go out and work and do your work, you know. So I know, like with pain, it's like you just want to lay around and you don't want to think about anything, and, you know, just zone out. And I wasted so much of my life doing that. And I thought, you know, that's why for me, this is a blessing, you know, because now I'm in pain, but I can still go out and do the stuff I need to do to keep my life going. So that's why I'm sharing this. So I hope it helps. The other thing that I didn't mention too is that once you have your sort of mother batch that you made up, that you got here in your cup, that you, when after it's like cooled off, you could put it into a jar, and you can store it. So you can put it in like a jar like this, and then you can store it in your refrigerator. So, I don't know if I have to illustrate. See, you could put it inside your refrigerator like that, and you can use it for later on. If you keep it refrigerated, it'll stay good for at least a few days or a week. So especially if you put the lemon juice in it, that helps to preserve it. So this'll keep, if it starts like fermenting, it'll smell weird. So you'll know it's like you can't really use it anymore because it kind of smells weird. But I mean, even if it's a little bit fermented, you could still drink it. I've drunk it in the past, but I wouldn't necessarily recommend other people do that. But, you know, because it is it turns fermented after a while if you don't refrigerate it. So it's it could be problematic in that respect. So you don't necessarily want to drink it fermented, but I have, and I've lived to tell about it. So the other thing is that I also put it in a jar like this, so that way if I need to bring it with me, like if I'm going out and I need to bring some with me, I'll put it in like one of these like kind of jars like this, or container, so you can take it with you. But it's best, especially if it's hot weather, like now it's very cold here, so it's not really so much of an issue. But if you I keep it, you could probably put it in like some sort of thermos container too. I'm sure that would work. I don't really do it that way. I usually just do it like this. And I put it in like a, I have like a, what do they call those little containers, you know, that you could put the cold packs in, so you could keep cold. Like I forget what they call them. I don't know why I can't think of it. But anyway, I think people know what I'm talking about. I'll put a picture of what I'm talking about. But you could keep it in there with like some cold packs to keep it cold if it's like the summertime and you want to bring it with you somewhere, like if you're going to the beach and you want to bring it with you. Because the thing is, I mean, also it's You could get it in capsules. I just don't like taking it in capsules because I think that it's just better if you pour water on it, or especially boiling water. It'll help to potentiate it, so you'll get more of an effect that way. I guess the capsules are more convenient, but it's not my preferred way of taking it. But it's available for people if that's easier to do. But I just don't find that they're as effective as if you make a tea out of it and you put like, especially if you put like a little bit of lemon juice in. Some people say grapefruit juice is a potentiator. I don't know. But, you know, so you make it up and you got your batch like this. And then you could pour it into a jar like this so that you could bring it with you, you know, when you go. It's just, be careful, because if it leaks out of here, it's like it stains, you know. It's almost like henna. It's like it'll stain things, you know, that if you spill it on like clothing or something, you know. So you want to try to be careful of that too. But you know, there are ways you can kind of improvise and bring it with you, so that if you need to take it while you're out doing your things during the daytime, that you'll have it available to take. But I guess the main things are just to don't overdo it. You know, take the pure plant powder, not the extract. Use that. I mean, some people, I guess you have to experiment and find which is best. I mean, maybe for some people that works better, but for me, I've always stuck with the, you know, with the 100% plant powder, and that way you get all the phytochemicals that are in the plant. You know, it's not just extracted to one phytochemical, you know, which is guideline or something like that. I don't know how you pronounce it, but that's the active ingredient. But I think the thing is that synergistically having it with all the other phytochemicals which you get in a plant, and using the leaf is going to be a lot better than if you try to isolate some part of the plant and make it in, you know, amplify that. I just, you know, to me that doesn't work. So, but I just wanted to add that on there. So.